I'm always curious too, like what was your motivation for creating Maxi? Were you just like, you know what, I want to do a crypto project? I see all these people doing it. I'm smart, I can do it. Or was it like, whoa, I can get really rich doing this? Like, I'm just curious, like, what makes people create products like this? When you have an idea, for me, I have an idea. I've been working in tech for a long time, so for me, it's like, yeah, I know how to code. I'll just go do it, and I'll just go do a POC, and then if it's good, it's good. If not, I'll do another iteration, or it may just be something I never touch again. But I'm just always curious, like, what makes you create products like this?
Yeah, so I guess it was neither of those two things because, there's no pre-mine in Maxi, so I didn't get any money. I didn't make any money doing this. I only spent money, and
you get a lot of respect for that too.
Pre-mine Maxi has appreciated, but I certainly don't have anywhere near the largest position in Maxi. So like as far as getting that wasn't part of this contract, but and it wasn't because so many other people were creating stuff either. It was actually because I had started thinking about this problem when the gas fees started getting really high. And then when EIP 2929 came out last year and it 3x the cost of ending of gas to end.
Everybody remembers that.
And then when I understood that the longer stakes cost more to end stake because you have to calculate that interest over a longer time frame. So when
that's something nobody talks about. If you got a 15-year stake, it's going to cost you bank to unstake it later on because of, and why technically does that happen?
It's because the way that it calculates the interest when you end your stake is it looks at the daily payout per T-share for every single day. So it loops through 5,555 times, reads a value, adds it, reads a value, adds it. And the act of reading that value was suddenly made 3 times as expensive in a recent Ethereum upgrade. And so
more days, more reads, more gas.
Yeah. Times 3, it was like 2.6 for like what that change had. So that was like the big motivation was when I realized that, and at the same, and kind of something that even further added the urgencies. Another thing that I built was the Max Length Stake bot, which is a Twitter bot that's probably down now because I run into my monthly limits all the time. And so it'll shut off periodically at the end of the month. But because my account has limits, but that bot tweets every time someone max length stakes. And then every day it gives a report on like that days. And almost every day that I look at it, when I look at that median, I'm like, okay, in order for that stake to be feasible to end stake, that requires Hex to go up versus Ethereum, probably like 1,000x for, which can happen. Absolutely can happen.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah. Well, so that may even be kind of like, well, this whole act of many stakes not being feasible to end could send the price that high because there's a bunch of staked Hex that may not ever be able to become unstaked. And so all that does.
I like how that's a pumpamental, like an incidental pumpamental.
Yeah, like a lot of the small stakes may be infeasible to end, and so those are Hex that were previously the market is like pricing in that they were going to exist in the future. Now because the Hex that then bleeds out, it's then like bleeding out over the next 15 years, and so because of just how the penalties like bleed out and get reallocated to new shareholders, and so the long term Hex, it just like even further decreases the like circulating supply inflation. And so that can really drive the price up. Also at the same time, if your gas is really high, you have to pay the gas in ETH. There could be a chance that you get more Hex with that same amount of ETH by just buying Hex. And so, that's like a new class of buyers who maybe they still demand that Hex, maybe they still want the Hex, but rather than paying a bunch of gas to only get this much Hex back from their own stake, they could, especially if it's in a price dip, which would even further make it unfeasible to end, you could just buy more Hex with that ETH.